The houses themselves were crumbling relics of a bygone era, their windows boarded up or shattered, their doorways concealed behind tangled curtains of creeping vines. The silence was heavy, oppressive, broken only by the rustle of the wind through the trees. The path leading into the village was narrow and winding, paved with cracked cobblestones that disappeared into the swirling mist. Each step forward felt like a step into oblivion, the unknown pressing in from all sides. There was a sense of watchful eyes, of unseen presences lurking just beyond the veil of fog. The wind picked up, swirling the fog into eerie shapes that danced and writhed like living things. Whispers seemed to emanate from the heart of the mist, faint and indistinct, yet undeniably present. They were the whispers of the past, echoes of lives once lived and now gone, lost to the shadows and the silence. A murder of crows perched atop a gnarled oak tree at the edge of the village, their glossy black feathers blending seamlessly with the darkness. Their eyes, however, glowed with an unnatural intensity, like tiny embers burning in the night. They watched silently, their heads cocked, as if listening to the whispers on the wind, their presence an ill omen in this desolate place. The path led to a small clearing, in the centre of which stood a dilapidated church. Its once proud spire was now little more than a rotting stump, the wooden cross atop it long since toppled and consumed by the undergrowth. The stained glass windows were shattered, their fragments scattered across the overgrown graveyard that surrounded the church. At the entrance to the church, a lone figure stood shrouded in a heavy cloak, their face obscured by the deep shadows of their hood. A lantern swung from their gloved hand, casting a flickering circle of light that only served to deepen the surrounding darkness. As I drew closer, the figure remained motionless, as if frozen in time. The lantern light flickered across the church's weathered stone facade, revealing strange symbols etched into the surface. They were crudely drawn, as if carved in haste, and stained a dark, rusty brown that could only be blood. These symbols were ancient, their meaning lost to time, but their intent was clear, a desperate plea for protection, a ward against some unseen evil. Panic welled up inside me. Something wasn't right. This village held a dark secret, one that whispered on the wind and clung to the fog like a shroud. Inside the church, the air hung heavy with the scent of decay and damp earth. Cobwebs draped the pews like ghostly shrouds, and the floor was littered with debris. Broken candlesticks, shattered tiles, and pages torn from ancient books. The air grew colder, the silence more profound. And then I heard it, the unmistakable sound of footsteps echoing through the emptiness. They were slow, deliberate footsteps, coming from somewhere deeper within the church. I followed the sound, my heart pounding in my chest, every nerve on high alert. The symbols on the walls seemed to pulsate with an eerie light, as if fueled by some unseen energy. The footsteps led to a small chamber behind the altar. The door creaked open as if inviting me inside. I hesitated, my hand hovering over the rusted handle. What awaited me in the darkness? What secrets lay hidden within? A sudden scream shattered the silence, echoing through the chamber and out into the night. It was a blood-curdling scream filled with terror and agony, and it sent chills racing down my spine. I stumbled back, my blood turning to ice. Silence descended once more, heavy and absolute. The footsteps ceased. The only sound was the frantic beating of my own heart. I stood there for a moment, paralyzed by fear, before finally turning and fleeing back into the night. The scream echoed in my ears,